And welcome back, folks. Apologies and thank you so much for your patience as we did have some technical difficulties. No stress though. You won't miss any of the action as we are about to get it back up and running for you as well. You don't get to miss what happens at the end, and we'll get this match very shortly underway. And here we go. We are down in the bottom path at that 7-minute mark. A Regirock has spawned, Chef, and ends up getting secured by Inteleon on Fury's side.
Yeah, 7-minute mark. Okay, they might actually be slightly before where we were, but we get the chance to see some of this again. But honestly, that lets us tell the story for anybody who kind of discombobulated by this. 1-2 on the Metagross, looking extremely strong right now. Has had the Comfey on it, and honestly, Metagross is kind of in that little mid-range where it's just tanky enough to be kind of the like annoying to KO, but it's not unkOable by a strong team. So I do like the Comfey pick on it.
Yes, it is working out pretty well for them so far. You do have that Regieleki being picked up by Antic, but you can see that Metagross is going to go and dive in with a fight. With that Comfey pocket trying to take down this Buzzwole, and this Eldegoss ends up getting flung up in the air and continuously crashing on down and forcing the Buzzwole slam. But Metagross ended up using their Unite move to get out of that, create a wall, and now they're going to make a grand escape. Oh my gosh.
Just glide away. Get away, you strange spider-like creature. But, oh, big wood hammer right there. But the surf on two members, well, technically kind of three if you count the Comfey, of Fury. That surf is actually gigantic. Nice little hit on the grass knot, though, against Anon on the Absol. That was a nice little snipe, as we're actually seeing Naomi get some true snipes with those snipe shots.
Yeah, definitely want to land your mark on those snipe shots, be able to chip away that damage, and then allow that Metagross to come in and clean up. You do have 20 seconds left until the basement Regi does spawn. All members look like to just be farmed up whatever wild Pokemon is left on their sides. Nobody overextending just yet, as we do have Eldegoss using that jump pad into that tall grass, and now they're just trying to get eyes on where everybody is on the opposite team, as Anon ends up getting denied a back cap from that submission Machamp.
Yeah, I forgot that it's submission. That's still such an interesting choice, but I really like it. Right now, this Regice has spawned, and we've got a 2v2 on bottom. Robbie is getting, they're taking like a significant amount of damage. Ooh, snipe through the Regice to hit Robbie. Naomi with a great KO there. Now it's just going to be them and Cutie probably taking out a Regi uncontested. But this fight up here for the tier 1 gold zone is huge. The big Unite coming out that has managed to snatch away the oh my goodness, the Buzzwole for just a moment, but it wasn't enough to get the full damage at a 4v2, and this Metagross might be able to escape, but no. So many dunks on that team, you can only get away for so long.
No. 4v2, like they have double the numbers on the side of Antic. I mean, Metagross was able to do it once before, but they did have the assistance of their Unite move. This is going to give an opening for Antic Esports to lock in that Regieleki once again. Naomi is caught out here, getting frozen by that Ninetales, but was able to eject their way out of there, and Cutie making sure to just provide some frontline protection so Naomi can just go back to sniping once again.
Ooh, and this fight is looking kind of nice. That surf hitting all the way through everybody, but a bunch of Unites being popped all at once. Naomi sitting in the background, just landing so many shots. Even these autos doing a lot of damage, but it's not enough to stop this team. Robbie sitting in the front just perfectly, and even Anon chasing down on that Absol is enough to get a double KO streak. They're going to be able to get a chunk into this tier 2 gold zone as well.
Oh, that Comfey diving in without a host was able to deny those points from going into that tier 2. But now you have that Comfey down. Metagross is diving in without protection, but you do have that Trevenant and that Machamp to just disrupt them and ward them off from their central area.
So now the big question is, what do you do for the final minute? We could back up. We could be a little bit more aggressive. Definitely Antic has the ability for that aggression. I mean, they are 14 on that Absol, which is pretty ridiculous. You can see it right now. Going to be able to be a threat even like 1v2 against a Comfeyed up anything. But no, it does look like we're going to back up. There is going to be a spawn in that basement Regi. There should be enough time for one of these teams to take it if they really truly want it. And there's not much EXP on the side of Fury, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did at least attempt to kind of go down there and check out what was happening. But it looks like no, it looks like Antic's going to be the one that does maybe get this, and they might get it for free. It doesn't look like there's going to be any members of Fury. They're all going to be in position to fight.
Yeah, this is really interesting and going to be huge for Antic if they pick up this Reggie Seal. But you do have Fury there, all taking positioning, being able to whittle down and take down this Blastoise as well. So Fury do have the numbers advantage going into this final stretch. Snipe shot from the back line, able to chip out some damage onto that Ninetales. Buzzwole is caught all alone here, forced to use their Unite move once again. But it is an all-out brawl as we do have Unite moves being popped left, right, and center. A snow globe from that Ninetales being able to wipe down that Machamp, and well, we're going in for round 2 here. It keeps on going as more KOs rain on through on the side of Fury.
Yeah, there's round 1, there's round 2, and then 1-2's a part of both of them right now, as it's not been KO'd with that Comfey on. Honestly, such a valuable asset. So that's what you got to do when you're playing Comfey. But this is a real true re-engage. It looks like we are going to have Robbie going in a little bit deep, fighting once again, but an amazing Hydra team is going to catch 3 members of Fury, and it does look like we're going to take on the champ one more time, as well as that Metagross. Oh, that's 4 members down. Only Naomi left. This is looking very scary. A lot of potential points here. We'll see how well the snipe shots can actually defend. This might just be a goal zone you have to give up, and we are going to have some spawns. There is definitely a chance for one more push, but that was a very clean team fight. One big thing though to look at, Absol's not going to be back for another 15 seconds from now.
Absol's down. You still have that Rayquaza in that middle section. Robbie is super duper low. Ends up getting a great surf on 2 members of Fury there. But Fury, they're not going to give up just yet, despite being such low HP. Rayquaza is now starting to get chipped away by Naomi, and 1-2 and Comfey. I mean, Comfey doesn't really have a choice here. They're going to try and flip this with only 20 seconds remaining, while the Buzzwole is still flipping and tossing and turning this Trevenant, and the Rayquaza goes to Fury. Is this going to be their chance? 109 to 281. They're going to have to get 2 dunks here, Chef.
Yeah, there might be a Hundo Burger going in from the Buzzwole in the tier 2 goal zone of Fury, so they're going to have to get at least one more in, but it looks like they've got plenty of time, and it does look like they were able to score enough. Look at that Machamp jumping in the air.
Machamp flying high, as I just think Fury were able to clutch it out within that last 20 seconds and take the lead. Even though things were looking so dire for them, they didn't give up. They flipped the Ray and they rushed on fourth. 497 to 281, which does mean we are going to a round 3, Chef.
Oh my goodness, that was looking like a lost cause. I mean, that was a 4-1 overall team fight win for Antic Esports, and they made good usage of it by scoring as much as they could in that tier 1 and then backing up. But they just got a little bit too, I think, staggered, and they were a little bit too far away from each other for that team fight. I mean, that's what submission's for, and that's how that fight started. Submission is to separate people from their team, throw them into your team, and then suddenly it's just bad news for them. And that's exactly how it started. Robbie getting kind of thrown in. Anon wasn't back quite in time for that first initial part of the fight, and then it was just kind of Fury cleaning up the rest of the team. So an amazing comeback, and this is certainly not over yet.
Oh no, it's not over. This is going to be the final of final matches for the OCE Open Series. But you see, Challenge, they had picked this Pokemon, as you mentioned, 100% today. A bit unusual, I guess, going that Aurora Veil build instead of the normal Blizzard build, which I feel like seems to be more meta currently. But Challenge actually demonstrating that Ninetales is still viable. I mean, obviously they didn't end up winning that match, but I still feel like, you know, they're doing pretty well here, but that's not to take away from Fury. I think the Metagross pick into Antic Esports team composition worked a treat.
Yeah, this was a lot of really interesting picks, and I agree with you. The Metagross is kind of the one that you got to look at the most, because normally you see Comfey on the Zoroarks, you see Comfey on the Drios, you see Comfey on some sort of really kind of heavy carry, but I mean, not literally heavy carry like Metagross, which was a really interesting one to put it on. And it kind of reminds me of when we had like Comfeys on the kind of OP phase of Venusaur, the pedal the pedal dance Geek Drain Venusaur, where it was just like, you cannot stop this Pokemon, and it just runs in, does a ton of AoE damage, and that's really kind of what we saw, and I think that's a really cool way to use it. And now they've kind of got to have an answer for that, especially combined with the submission of Machamp. It was like a really interesting combo that just all worked really well, and it just built a lot of space too, especially for Inteleon Snapshot.
Yeah, but this is where it was looking a bit grim for Fury there. They ended up getting the 2 KOs on their side, but the fact that they were able to return, as you mentioned, being able to pick off the Blastoise, being able to get, you know, a great engage from that Hydro Typhoon and Surf. And this is where, you know, you just thought it was all over. A minute left, 4 members are down. It's only Naomi remaining. And it was just such an insane comeback. Just the knowledge to... I guess there's nothing left to lose but to rip the Rayquaza, right? Just hope for the best.
Yeah, and you can see one of the most important moments of the entire game right there. Cutie landed a massive Horn Leech that knocked back 3 members of Antic Esports, keeping them away from the Ray Pit, which allowed them to essentially start to get off that flip situation. Otherwise, for sure, they would have probably been burned down a little bit before that. So great spacing, great just kind of execution on that final comeback moment. And now we're going to a game number 3 where we can see what the adaptations are. And I mean, super well played from both teams. I'm glad we get a game 3.
Yeah, but look at that. 3 defenders off the table straight away. Crustle, no Blastoise, no Slowbro. And it looks like we have a bit of a target ban on Naomi. Antic, take away that Inteleon.
Yeah, seriously. I know I keep talking about it, but I'm surprised we don't see Naomi play the attacker role more. That Inteleon is looking extremely good. The Mew is looking great, which is something we could potentially see later, but we're actually going to see the Leafeon picked up immediately, which I think is a great pick for any team to pick up immediately, so I do like that a lot.
But challenge, once again, sticking with that 100% pick rate. Ninetales for today's series. So going... Instead of that Buzzwole pick, they're opting for the Mimikyu. Maybe there might still be a Buzzwole pick later on, and we might see a little bit of a switcheroo here. Urshifu is going to be locked down on the side of Fury, and I think Cutie on the Trevenant last match played really well. So it's good to see them back on this tree.
Yeah, I mentioned it, but I mean, they were a big reason why they managed to make that entire comeback. Now, maybe the Hoopa. We've definitely seen Liz go to the Hoopa before, but of course, as I say that, we're not going to see that. We are, though, going to see the Charizard. Now, we saw the Charizard before. I'm not going to scream about it again because, again, I know that Antic as a team, they study so many other regions, and I think a lot of this probably does have to do with the fact that Kabi-chan's made this work not even 2 days ago. So this is a comp that I'm excited to see, but you're going to fight fire with fire. It's honestly quite a good pick against Charizard if this was VGC, because you can use Flame Body or whatever it is to absorb the fire. But interesting to see it come out here at this moment. The lamp is kind of a little bit unpopular right now.
Yeah, it isn't picked up very well. I guess, you know what, might as well just go in, showcase another Pokemon that you can play. 1-2, I think has picked up a different Pokemon each time, something that Anon is usually known for as well. But I guess for Anon to pick up this Charizard, Pachamas, they didn't end up getting the win during the first match of the day. So we actually started with a Charizard pick, and now we're going to end with a Charizard pick, which is really interesting. One thing to note as well is they are going to be stacking. So is this going to be a Charizard in lane?
I feel like that could be the case. Trying to think of who they're having against in the top path. Now, there were a few different options, but I think honestly, looking at, oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's probably gonna be the Leafeon. I was thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute, nobody on this team is guaranteed top path, but I feel like there's a possibility we're gonna see that. Probably gonna see the Urshifu in the center area. You kind of have to do that. The Trevenant was carrying the EXP share, so I don't expect it there. So that could be honestly really tough. I'm not gonna lie. Oh no, it does look like even though it's stacking, we're gonna see the Charmander currently go to the center area.
Yeah, so it is going to do that. On the opposite side, we are seeing the Handle go into that central area as well. Naomi is opting for the bottom path as that Leafeon paired up with that Phantom.
Weird. All of this is weird. This is going to be really difficult. Bemco, look at this. Already almost getting KO'd. There was 0% chance that they were going to be able to make it to the other side there, as Cub Fu is a weak, small child and certainly needs to grow up a little bit before they become a scary threat.
Oh, well, they do have that pocket comfort there to heal him, but up against those slaps of the Mimikyu, that is definitely a scary sight. But Cotton being super aggressive on that flower crown, weren't able to get any of the experience, whittling him out slowly. But one thing to note is we do have a Leafeon online, and we already know Leafeon, even though it doesn't have the buffs, whether it is going to end up going for that Razor Leaf or the Solar Blade pick, we'll definitely have to wait and see, as we still have a Cubfu on the map.
Yeah, it needs to evolve kind of right now, but instead it's being chased down. Even with the Comfey on it, it is not going to be really survivable. Like, any amount of aggression is going to take it down. And I'm honestly, I kind of feel like they should have split up these paths different. It's a little bit strange to me, but, you know, again, we'll see if it ends up working. Right now we can see Naomi, I mean, popped off really quickly, and I feel like the ability to be a Leafeon early game is wasted just kind of sitting bottom path and just harassing people, when it could be either, you know, like kind of being in the center area and like helping top with KOs, or being top and helping shut down their top. But finally, we are going to see the Urshifu exist, and this is going to start to get scary for sure.
Yes, definitely don't want to be on the opposite side of that wicked blow. But you do have pretty much most of these members going into this central area, trying to pick up these Swabbers and Altaria. It is all going to go to the side of Fury, as you have Shifu trying to get a little bit of revenge, paired up with the 1-2 there, on that Mimikyu to take it down.
Well, they do manage to do that, and this aggression is starting to look really good. Naomi rotating up from bottom, and right now it looks like 1-2 might be getting KO'd, not able to escape, especially Miro. And actually, I think the slow smoke was probably from the Comfey, but wasn't slowing them down enough to actually save them. And now the aggression is going to come from Antic. 4 crashing top, and Bemco getting immediately KO'd. Cotton to follow for sure, and then I'd have to say probably this goal zone as a third.
Poor Cotton, 1v5. There is absolutely no chance for a Comfey to survive that. They had nowhere left to go, but because Antica do have the positioning up in that top path, being able to clear that tier 1 pad, 4 members are going to go and shred down that Regieleki, while we do have that Leafeon and Trevenant still in his bottom path. Naomi, I guess, just trying to get in some much needed stacks that they may have not been able to get earlier on.
Yeah, now Anon is going to be completely online. We could see the Unite start to come out soon. It is available. You could use this to kind of pull somebody away and try to push in this Regieleki if you really want to. I don't know if this is the time that they want to. They do have 4 members, all 5 members about to come up. I feel like the initiation is probably about to happen, and we don't even need to spend that Unite, as immediately we're going to KO against Naomi, and this is going to be a full push in. They really want to make this happen. The dunk's going to happen on Bemco. They're going to go down immediately. Comfey sitting by itself. Finally, able to jump on one more, but everybody's so incredibly low, and the AoE damage of this Charizard is really coming into play. They did manage to stop the Regieleki, so not many points in, but just a bunch of KOs from Antic Esports.
Yeah, but I guess in terms of that Charizard Unite, it felt like it was kind of lackluster. Because they did end up waiting a fair bit to engage with their Seismic Slam, they weren't able, I guess, to get to the momentum, the push that they were looking for. Obviously, that Regieleki to walk on in, as Fury were able to just shred it up as all of this damage was happening around them. Now you do have Fury coming in, taking the lead, considering they did break that top tier 1 pad, but Antic Esports are now going to quickly take that back with some dunks of their own in the bottom half. This
is a decent lead now, but still nothing too big to overcome, both in levels and in points. It's really top heavy as far as Anon on the Charizard being pretty far above everybody else. Not even a level, well, I was about to say not another level 10, but of course you take Registeel, it's going to be a ton of experience, and so now it's pretty solid. But I mean, a level 11, a level 10, and 3 level 9s on the side of Fury means it really doesn't matter. You're not too far off, and 60 points isn't too far off either. This top Regieleki could mean a lot that's coming up pretty soon, as we're going to see Bemco try to chase down Robbie. But the fact that both tier 1 goal zones on top for both teams are gone is pretty big. However, rather than fight for that, they're bottom, as that Phantom Force is going to hit a bunch of different members, and so that's going to be a gigantic shield and buff for that Trevenant. We are going to see challenge go down very, very quickly, but this Unite has been popped by the Charizard, and again, this damage is really looking like quite a bit, especially with that level advantage. So that is almost everybody on Fury getting wiped. Ooh, and this is we are going to be going back, I think, for Naomi, just not quite able to make it to any sort of healing, or maybe doesn't even want to waste it. But I'm surprised, Kello, that we don't have anybody going for this Regieleki yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's 4 minutes left on the clock here, so I guess nobody is really looking to prioritize it, as they just want to try and get all of these wide Pokemon that are on their side. Like, there's a lot of yellow dots up on that top side, but you do have Chandelure going and starting it, as Trevenant and Comfort are trying to zone out this Blissey and Ninetales from getting any closer. It's just a matter of who can get the last hit. Can we get a steal? But no, a great stun from that Trevenant to just knock 3 of those members and prevent Antic from yoinking away that Regieleki.
Yeah, there's been really good spacing there, but oh my goodness, there's a big fight coming down here. Bemco charging in with that Comfey, but again, the life is not that significant. So, the Unite coming out, but look at this, a very low HP Charizard could easily get KO'd, and that's exactly what's going to happen, actually, and it ended up being the Comfey. So Cotton getting finally a KO at some point in this match, but a big target to get the KO on, so you got to be very happy about that. And now an attempt to push in through this Regieleki. 4 seconds left. They are not able to stop it in time. That Gold Zone is going down. A 3v2 though. I'm not sure that's something Bemco can actually win, but they might just be happy to. Well, actually, hold on a minute. Getting 1 KO and jumping over the wall. They are going to escape. That was a beautiful maneuver, and Charizard's going to jump in after them, but this is a Regirock 5 happening as well.
Yeah, it's only the Umbreon left standing down here, as Regirock is already at below a quarter HP. 1-2 is on 1 HP. There was able to sustain that. Didn't end up getting hit by any of those Regirock rocks, but is now going to fall to that Charizard after all of that.
30 seconds left to the 2-minute mark, so there's just a little bit of time to repair. Fury having a big lead is in points is pretty big right now. Again, there's not a lot of harass, I would say, on the side of Antic Esports, so it's not like they can just sit there and kind of wait for their opportunity. They have to make a hard commit in at some point. It's going to be a lot based around their Unites that they use as well, but the harass that can potentially come out of the Leafeon and out of the Chandelure is pretty tremendous, and they can just poke down and hold their defensive line. So here we go, 2-minute mark, and this is the final 2 minutes of this tournament. One of these teams is going to win this, and they're going to win the entire thing for the OCE Open Series of April, and they're going to start off with Bemco jumping in.
Yeah, you do have Trevenant just trying to protect their Chandelure with that wood hammer. Comfort is going to detach and make sure to just replenish that HP, but you can see Challenge in the backline poking at that Rayquaza, trying to chip it, as Sulua is going to dive on with the Mimikyu and going to play rough onto that Urshifu, and also use their Unite move to eat it on up, but the Comfort was on it, so it was able to replenish that HP, and now they're going to go and dive in with a Unite move of their own, trying to wicked blow the opposite team, as you have Charizard also raining down fire. 2 members of Fury are down. However, we do have Challenge down that is on the Ninetales. Rayquaza is slowly getting depleted by Antic. Naomi is still lurking about though.
Oh, and there's such good secure with the members that are still up on the side of Fury. Antic has got to be really scared to burn this down. And so far, it's just while Bemco has not gone down at all. They got hit with every CC in the entire game at this point. We are going to get a reset on the Rayquaza. And so Antic is just in a tough spot. Everybody running back from Fury is going to be back to a full 5v5. As, again, the charge is coming in from the Charizard. First big KO there is going to be on the Trevenant. So a 5v4, Antic needs to clean this up, and they need to clean it up fast. There's only 35 seconds on the clock, but with 1 member going down, Sulu, I believe that was, is going to be a really big hit to them. Antic needs to make something happen. They've got to get KOs, they've got to get back caps, they've got to take down Rayquaza, something, and it looks like they're trying for that back cap, but it looks like we had Naomi sitting there on the pad defending, and a big back cap from the side of Bemco is going to put them ahead by maybe too much. There's still an attempt to potentially score up top with a Hundo Burger, but he managed to get... Oh, wait a minute. Is this going to be enough? There's 2 seconds left.
Oh my gosh. Is that enough points to just shoot Antic into the lead? I do not know. 2 dunks went in. Charizard and Blissey, thanks to challenge on that Ninetales, being able to lock in that Rayquaza, and it's 378 to 342. Antic Esports are going to be your champions for the Unite Battle Hub OCE April Series.
I cannot believe that the 3 seconds left KO on Rayquaza meant everything. Look at where on the timer Rayquaza is. That is like the end mark of the entire game. That is, I don't know if I've ever seen that. It mattered. It mattered the perfect amount of timing. That was as close of a game as you can get. Amazing clutch comeback from Antic. They did everything perfectly in those final, 5 seconds of the game. But Fury, they played that fight extremely well too. I mean, as much as this is obviously one of the most clutch wins I've ever seen in my entire life of Pokemon Unite, I feel like this was just this was like a draw in my mind with how well both these teams played. But realistically, it's only a few points difference, and that is all that you need.
That was just a dream come true for them. I feel like that's going to replace, I know there was a moment during the OC Feb Cup where Challenge clutched it out on the Sylveon with that last dunk. But I feel like that has just topped it. Challenge, soloing that Rayquaza while you had that Blissey and the Charizard go and split into each lane, hoping and trusting Challenge to get that secure was just so much, I guess, trust, hope, a dream, Jeb for a dream. Incredible moments, as you mentioned, just both of these teams, like even at this moment it was 112 to 111. Obviously, this push was a bit of a failed maneuver here from Antic, being able to pick up some KOs, but for Fury, they were able to take down that Regieleki and, not let it snowball from there, which could have been, a really pivotal moment.
And of course, as well as this match was played, we got to talk about the fact that we've got such a strange comp from Antic Esports, and this is another tournament win on the books for Charizard. So Charizard stocks may be rising. I don't know if that's truly the case, but it's definitely something that would make a lot of people happy, I think, if it did end up happening. And Antic showed a lot of really cool things throughout the entire day, not just this match, but I mean, just a whole lot of stuff. Obviously, a whole lot of Alolan Ninetales, which is pretty interesting as well. But they've been doing their research, they've been testing out a lot of new things, and again, I think that's such an important part of what makes stuff like Unite Battle Hub such an awesome opportunity for a lot of these teams. Is Antic got to try out every little fun thing in the book, and I feel like they've probably decided, like, you know what, this worked, we won obviously, but maybe we don't want to do this in the future, or you know what, this actually kind of really worked, we should really try it more. But regardless, every team that was involved in this got to learn a lot more. Sorry, I know I'm talking for a long time, but I also want to say I think Fury, even though this isn't the real Fury, this like set of comp for them worked super well, and I don't know if they can bring that somehow into their UCS roster, but they got to think about it.
So you're saying the switch up would be from Naomi on supporter or defender to attacker speed stinger?
I would love to see it. I genuinely love to see it. I think Naomi was extremely MVP, well, not MVP, but maybe MVP of this current comp. Like, she was doing amazingly. I mean, the Inteleon, on Inteleon and Mew too, which again are like very in-depth, like high skill cap, like special attackers. It's not like it's just like, oh yeah, like you just go in and play some auto hit user. It's like, wow, that was really impressive. So honestly, yes, genuinely.
It was a really, really fun night here at Unite Battle Hub. I do hope all of the participants, all of those people that did tune in to support the scene, enjoyed themselves. But congratulations once again to Antic Esports for, I think this is the second one that they have won over at Unite Battle Hub. I could be wrong. I can't remember.
I think so too. I think one of them they didn't win, but regardless, I want to thank all the teams for showing up. I know everybody here at UBH is super pumped because the OC region is just like awesome with signing up, and everybody's super quick to get in the lobbies, and everybody's just good, competitors. Like, so it's super awesome, and everybody's really happy to run tournaments for the OCE, and I'm happy to stay up until 6 a.m. casting it. But of course, also there is some stuff from other regions because we've got the Elite Tour that's actually going to to have its first final coming up this Saturday. So in case anybody doesn't know how it's been going this month for the other regions, there was qualifiers for NA, qualifiers for EU. We just had an awesome last chance qualifier, and the main event is going to be this Saturday at noon, which is probably for you OCE players going to be Sunday, but figure it out. This is noon Eastern time for North America. We've got a lot of great teams in there. We've got LG, we've got Nouns, we've got just a bunch of great players that and teams that made it like A through L, Single Galemo. It's going to be sick. I'm really looking forward to that.
And you just saw right in the center there, that $500 prize pool, which these teams are going to be fighting for. So you know that things are going to get fierce and ferocious out on Thea Sky Ruins. So definitely, if you are awake, tune on in.
Yeah, and as Relic teased earlier, so I can tease it as well, there's the more coming for OCE relatively soon. I don't know if anything's locked in yet exactly because they don't tell me anything for sure because I'm just simply somebody who talks, but I know that there's more coming up for OCE because like I said, everybody here at UBET Battle Hub loves the region, so look forward to that, and they want everybody to be rewarded for showing up, which you all definitely have. So before we close out, I mean, it was a great day. Anything else that you want to say, Kilo?
Big shout out to our whole crew for today. Bacon on production, Rasanda on the cams, of course, our mods, and Relic, who was joining us a little bit earlier on. So thank you to, everybody who was involved in today. Obviously, the participants and everybody who tuned on in as well. And of course, you, Chef. Thank you for joining me. It was a lot of fun. Always fun.
I'm always happy to, and I had to drink a ton of giant glasses of tea, and my voice is still dying, but starting to recover, and I was so sad not to cast DCS, so I'm glad that I get to cast OCE at least. But thank you as well, Kilo. It is always fun for us to cast together, and thank you to all the teams. Thank you to all of production, like you said. You basically named everybody. I don't have to do it, so I'm just going to say, everybody, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in on Saturday NA time for the Elite Tour Finals. And we'll see everybody very soon with more news for what's coming next for OCE. See you soon.
! Socials and chat as well. Check us out.